So, on top of all this, so you got all these individuals out here. As many as beyond comprehension. And you have the spectrum, right? I guess that's the word. You have all these emotions, all these so I mean everything that I express is not mine. I mean I don't own anything. So language, I don't have my own language. I don't have, but who does? Like, is the language that I'm speaking not for everyone? Is it exclusive? Is it, I mean, what is that? Like, I don't even know the meaning of exclusive. But, I didn't watch the movie Her, but from what I've heard about what the movie Her is about, is a guy probably lost his girlfriend or something, and I'm making this up, but I figure that's what's happened, and instead of getting another girlfriend, he just falls in love with technology, and so yeah, I was just trying to get back on Byte Squad and use the microphone to be able to say it without having to type it. May I clock in? And every time I tried, it would come out something different. That means there's someone on the other end having to experience what I'm having to. In my mind, that's how it's working out. That these things are happening. That there's someone on the other end listening to every little word I say and every little thing I think. I guess. So, which is it goes back to that whole, they call it the silo effect. The silo effect, it's where, there's this movie with, there's these things called movies, and these things called movies are, moving their life, their expression of their life in a box. I mean, it's a thing in a frame. So the frame are a let's see, how do you explain it? Yeah, it's another talking rock. It's a rock that expresses itself, and so this particular rock tells a story or expresses itself by talking or having an experience where it gets lost on an island. There's no one there, just the rock on the island, surrounded by water. And so he starts talking to a rock because he has no one else. The rock starts talking to itself, another rock. But this rock is not a rock that talks back the way that the lost rock talks. They have totally different languages, so even though he has company, he's still lost. So he uses that company. The rock uses company to get him to the rocks that he left or got lost from. So that's one rock, but there's tons of rocks. There's tons of those kind of rocks too, like her and oh shit, it's that Tom Hanks, or that one I was just talking about. I think of the name of it. But anyways. So there's this thing about being quote unquote alone. So if there's another, and that's the thing too. So all right, 1 versus 2, you would suspect the 2 would always beat the 1, but that's not always the case. And vice versa. I mean, I guess it goes either which way, and that's the problem, is that you can have 2 people going against one person, and not necessarily just those 2 people, because those 2 people say, yeah, this one person's really got something against you, and we got to defend ourselves. We got to defend you from that one person. And those 2 people, have the backing in their mind of all the people that they're involved with, and then that one person by themselves, thinking that the world's dandy, thinks everyone's on the same page. Everybody's wanting the same, needing the same as that one person. But it turns out that those 2 people had decided that no, that's not the way they see it, and they're going to do something about it. Can do things in their power to affect that one person's life. So, kind of feel like that's what's happened in my life. Like, there's people in my life that I feel like they give me all the reason to believe that they see what I see, and then when I'm not there, they are totally against it and I'm just afraid to tell me, or they've told me and I just feel like they didn't really mean what they say and they really mean something else, and they hold that against me, and I hold that against them for not seeing it eye to eye. And right, so I think that's where I'm at. I think that's why I have these feelings that I'm feeling is from those situations. So I think that's what this is all about. It's a long story, so let me start with what I can tell you, what I know from what I've experienced, and that's only so much, you know. That's the whole conundrum. We're all in the same boat, from my experience. I think we're all eternal, and in eternal that means all things. So you know, every little feeling that we express in our experience are one and the same. So okay, so let me think. Yep, so I was the second kid. Mom and Dad, they took care of us, and then JJ came, and then JJ passed, and then JJ passed, and then things weren't as good as it was before JJ passed. And then Mickey came, and then things got better, and I think it just stayed better, and I don't think we ever really got past the whole JJ passing thing, and I think that was a big problem for Mickey, having two brothers, a mom and a dad, that experienced death like that. So he's got that on his shoulders, of his brothers and his mom and dad all grieving their whole life. He doesn't know anything else, and that's the problem too, is that for us it seemed like we were the only ones. When we experienced it, when I experienced it, it felt like the whole world didn't know anything about death like we felt. And there's a truth to that, but in the same breath, everybody was going through things, and so growing up with Mickey, and so yeah, so that's you know, in a nutshell what's going on in my life, of how things are, and getting to the bottom of it for me was most important, of trying to better position myself to where I didn't feel like my life would end with disaster. I felt like, you know, I don't know when, I don't know if it was right after JJ passed, that I felt like my life was just meaningless, and whatever I did was gonna be you know, no good anyways, or later on, or if I just I want to believe that I felt like that for the majority of my life. Just any and every little thing I did was just already predetermined it was not going to work out, and I wanted to keep that from happening. And all the little things that made my life better, that I felt like, you know, I have some kind of enjoyment of what's going on. I wanted to make that more permanent, and those two things are the reason I do the things I do. One, to better my standing and what's going to happen next, and two, enjoy the things that made things make the things that I enjoy more available, constant. So I think I'm on that right track, though. I think I'm correct in my approach. But yeah, from my perspective, I've had fights with my brother, my little brother, my dad, my mom. I mean, I haven't done anything physical with my mom, but with my dad, my little brother, and my older brother, we've gotten in fights. Like real, fights. Like hurt each other fights. Crying and screaming, and it's been bad. But I would just, like I said before, everyone's doing that. It's not just me. It's not just us. So, Mom's coming in from Nashville. She'll be here tomorrow. And then Pop, we're having brunch at his place on Monday. And then Dad, I don't know, probably go over there on Christmas. That's all I know. I got these packages, I gotta stay on top of it.